Well, we all want to know your reaction to the fact that the Browns tried to trade for a quarterback.
It's part of this business. I think that has absolutely nothing to do with my development and where this team stands. It just is another way of letting me know that I need to step my game up. I know that I have an opportunity this week to be the starting quarterback here, and I look forward to going out and improving myself.
Did you ask for an explanation? Did the coach give you an explanation?
No, there's no reason for one. He's not here. I'm the starting quarterback this week, and I'm looking forward to continuing to grow and develop and become a better quarterback each time I step out on the field.
Did you have an initial reaction, DeShone? You must have thought something when you saw that.
Well, quite frankly, I don't have Twitter, so I didn't really know much about it. It didn't go through, so it didn't really affect me too much. We're on a bye week. I was spending some time with my family, clearing my mind, and I'm back here in the same position I am, and with some of the same guys in the locker room. Obviously, with the big addition and JG, but other than that, we're the same squad, preparing ourselves to go out against the Detroit Lions.
Does it motivate you?
I mean, if you can be motivated anymore. I have 10,000 reasons to be motivated to go out and play better. Two being the 2 times I've been benched. I think that once again I've been getting better each week, and I look forward to coming out here after a nice bye week and preparing myself to go out there and have my best game yet.
Did it help to be on the bye so you could process anything that you had to deal with?
Absolutely. Self-scout is the best scout. When you can go out and evaluate yourself, you can really find where you can develop. Obviously, this whole season has been a kind of a season where you're always self-scouting when all the quarterback changes happen. But this was a long break for us to reevaluate some of the things that I do well, some things I don't do well, and try to attack them.
What did you come away with on the self-scout?
There's a lot of plays to be had out there. Obviously, there's a big emphasis on not turning the ball over, and I was able to develop that throughout the season, or throughout the first half of the season, and obviously didn't turn the ball over against Minnesota. But now there's big plays that can turn into touchdowns that need to be that need to be made throughout a game.
Sean, you said a bunch of times how you think you can be the guy for this team for a long time. Do you feel like you have to prove that over the last 8 weeks?
Yeah, you got to prove that every time you step out there. When you're in a position where you're 0-8, when you're on a club who hasn't been winning in the recent past and hasn't had a solid quarterback in a long time, you got to prove that every time you step out there. It's going to take a lot for a guy to hold on to this position for a while, and that's why you've seen so many guys who haven't been able to hold on to it. So there's definitely a chip on my shoulder to go out there and continue to represent myself and this team as best as I can and do whatever I can to be the quarterback here for a long time.
Sean, I don't know how much interaction you've had with Josh already, but whatever you've had, what are your early impressions of him?
Awesome guy. He's absolutely shredded. Looks like he's been playing in the league for a long time. Obviously, he's had a little bit of a break, but still looking forward to developing that relationship. I haven't really talked to him much, just a kind of a cordial introduction. But you better believe I was watching JG highlight tapes all bye week.
What do you make of everything he's been through and how open he's been about all his problems as he comes back in the locker room?
I think he's going to be an awesome teammate because of that. A guy who's strong enough to be as candid as he is about his situation is something that I think is an awesome value for a guy that I want in my locker room. I just look forward to doing whatever I can to help him as a teammate now and start making some plays.
Do you let yourself start to think about what it could be like with him and Corey back out there for you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great addition to the room we have. I think that we've been heading in the right direction each week. We're creating a chemistry. Everyone's been developing, and then we add 2 more guys to hop into that mix. I'm looking forward to seeing what this receiving corps can do within this pass game. As I develop and they develop, hopefully we can head in the right direction, making a lot of plays.
After watching those JG tapes and then seeing him in person, you probably feel he could go right out there immediately and help them.
Yeah, I think that it's clear that when he does get back, there's going to be a place for him within the rotation of what we have, and I think he's going to add to exactly what we've been doing all along. I think that obviously in this league you have to have a rotation of receivers to be out there playing, and I think he'll be able to fit right into that rotation whenever he is cleared to play.
How hard do you think it's going to be for him to develop trust, considering what he's been through?
Well, we're going to do whatever.
Yeah,
we're going to do whatever we can in this next few weeks up until there. That's not distracting us from the game plans that we have to develop our own relationships with him. teammate to teammate, and then obviously quarterback to receiver. But I think that we all have a lot of respect for what he's been through. And when you go through as much as he's gone through in the last few years and are reinstated by one of the toughest commissioners there is in any league, I think it goes to show how much respect that this league has for him. And I'm sure we're going to give the same respect to him from this locker room.
Well, going back to Detroit, I mean, it's close to home. Would there be a big contingent or anything like that, family and friends?
I'm sure. Once again, I'm always close to home, being drafted to Cleveland. But I'm going to allow that to be handled by my parents and my support team, because I know that there's a lot of distractions that can happen off the field that I would rather keep out of the way as we work on getting our first win.
I know you said you grew up an Eagles fan, but did you go to Lions games as a kid or anything?
Lions versus the Eagles.
Those were the only ones?
Yeah, those are the only ones.
Were there split allegiances, like among your family and friends, Browns, Lions?
I mean, I didn't really get caught up in the whole fan of this team versus that team. I was so focused in on whatever sport I was playing at the time that I wasn't a huge rah-rah guy when it came to representing your team that you liked.
What do you see out of that defense? They turn the ball over a lot, don't they?
They do. I think that they complement their offense very well in that same aggressive fashion. I think they have a very good secondary who's been playing very aggressive and making a lot of good tackles. And they're one of the best run-stopping defenses in the country. And as a team who's looking to develop our run game each week, I think it's going to be a great challenge for us to go out and execute our jobs and really see how we go against a very good running defense.